Hello, second channel subscribers, long time no see. Today I am presenting to you sort of a mini vlog of my trip to Seattle that I took earlier this week. Also, please ignore the fact that my voice sounds like this. I'm a little sick, caught a little bit of an illness on my trip because I have the immune system of a Victorian child. But the reason why I'm putting this out there is because I actually did two kind of like travel vlogs earlier in the year for the main channel. Those had more of like a kitschy pop culture type reason to be posted on the main channel, so that was going to Arizona for the first night of the Eras tour, and then the Bass Pro Shop pyramid video. And so I decided to do something similar for the second channel for my trip to Seattle, just because there's no like big like meme or reason why I went there, but I thought it'd be nice to still document my experience just for my own personal taste, and also because some people like my travel content. So here you go. Okay, so I guess I should mention the reason why I went to Seattle was because I was going to see my best friend who lives there. My best friend's name is Noelle. You may recognize her from her brief cameo appearance in the Jonas Brothers video, and also she was the one I went to the Eras tour with back in March. Noelle was my college roommate for 4 years. We lived together for 3 of those 4 years, and she is from the Washington state area originally, and she has visited me in New York plenty of times, but I have never been to Washington State, so I figured this was as good a time as any to go see the site. Okay, so I flew into Seattle on December 26th. I got there pretty late at night, so we decided to just go for a quick bite to eat before going to sleep. We stopped at Dick's, which is apparently sort of like a walk-up establishment where you can get cheeseburgers and fries and milkshakes. I got a bag of fries and a chocolate milkshake, and it was really good. It hit the spot after a very long flight experience. The next day was like our main touristy day to see all the sites and hit all of the popular spots in Seattle that most people typically know and like to come to visit when they go to the city. What you're seeing right now is some footage from Pike Market, which is a popular tourist destination in Seattle. It's basically like a semi-indoor, semi-outdoor market where they have little artisan shops so you can buy things from independent artists. They also have a lot of really cool food places and booths and vendors. One of the most iconic establishments in here is a specific seafood market where, like, if you've ever seen celebrities throwing fish, this is where they do that. While we were here, we also got some lunch at a place called Beecher's, which is a cheese shop, and they have some mac and cheese that we got to try, and it was incredibly delicious. You guys know I'm a mac and cheese snob, so this really impressed me. We ate it outside of the Pike Place Market in this little kind of table area overlooking the water. It was really nice. Our next stop, which was sort of nearby Pike Place Market, it was underneath it, was the famous gum wall, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's disgusting, it's beautiful, and because we were there at this moment in time, we did what any self-respecting citizen would do, chewed some gum and stuck it on our place in history.
Okay, stay. There we go.
You got it?
Yeah.
Which one's yours?
Right there.
That one's yours?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll put mine right there. Here's our gum.
There's our gum.
After that, we took the monorail over to Seattle Center, which is where the world-famous Space Needle is located. We had a little bit of time before our reservation at the Space Needle, so we walked around a little bit of Seattle Center, and we got to see this really cute Christmas village with a little train that goes around. And I also bought a Kraken hat at the Kraken team store, despite the fact that I am a New York Hockey Rangers fan. You know I had to do it to him, though. The drip is simply undeniable. Then we got to ascend up to the Space Needle, and if you know anything about Seattle, you know that it rains there quite a bit. We'd actually gotten lucky for most of the day. We were pretty dry, but of course as soon as we got up there it started to rain, but that was no problem for us. We had a good time anyway. After that, we stopped by this adorable little bookstore called Elliot Bay Book Company, and I was really impressed by this store. They had pretty much every section of any book you could ever want to purchase. It was so cool, the vibe was so cool, an excellent third place. If you're in the PNW area, I definitely suggest that you stop by. Then we got dinner next door at a place called the Lost Lake Diner. Look at it, it's so cute, it's so vintage. I was explaining to Noelle that I feel like Seattle has a really cool vibe where it's like, everything is not an imitation of itself, it's just like a genuine representation of itself, and I feel like this diner is a really good example of that. Then we took the bus over to SIF Cinema for the Iron Claw. This movie was great, it destroyed me emotionally, I cried a lot by the end. Also, weirdly enough, Lily Gladstone was there. She had a movie premiering next door in the theater over called Fancy Dance, I believe. And so when we got out of Iron Claw, like, she was in the lobby of the movie theater taking pictures with folks who went to see that movie. Then the next day we went over to Volunteer Park and we spent the morning in this adorable little greenhouse. It was so cute. They had so many beautiful types of plants and flowers. Also, I guess I should explain the little stuffed animal cactus you keep seeing. I bought this for Noelle as a joke, and we decided to bring her to like every single place that we visited to take a picture. So this is, her name is Queso. So this is Queso with the cacti in the greenhouse. And when we left, we also signed the guest book with Queso's name as well as ours. We did a quick stop by Macrina Bakery, which was reportedly Kurt Cobain's favorite bakery. I got a chocolate chip cookie. It was really good. We then spent the bulk of our afternoon at the Burke Museum, which is where Noelle's friend Gabby works. We got to tour some really cool exhibits, and then Gabby got to show us some of the stuff that they had in storage, which was pretty cool. Then we went over to Din Tai Fung for dinner. This is video of the chef's hand making all the dumplings. I also got to try a chocolate dessert dumpling, which was pretty interesting and pretty delicious. Then later that night, it was time for the Mothership drag show at Queer Bar in Capitol Hill, which was hosted by Queen Andrew Scott from Drag Latina. You guys know I like to see drag shows in every city that I visit, and let me tell you, I was blown away from this show. I had so much fun. Our performers for the night were London Bradshaw, Rowan Ruthless, Fabi, and Glenn Coco, and all of them were fantastic in their own unique way. It was a very diverse show. It was a lot of stuff that I wasn't expecting just because, you know, of what I'm familiar with when it comes to the Seattle drag scene. It was very different. Every performer was super different. This is all just kind of like a mashup of videos I took of them. We had a great time. Queer Bar is a really cool spot, so if you are in the PNW, I would definitely recommend going. They put together a good show, and the space seems very welcoming, very vibrant, and very fun. They also start pretty much on time, which is lovely because I am used to New York drag shows where they start like 2 hours late. So it was nice that they started at like 10:30. They kept the party going. They had a brief intermission, but we were done by like 11:30, I'd say. Then for our final day, we briefly headed over to the Mariners Stadium T-Mobile Park because I wanted to stop by the team store to get Brian a souvenir. I got him an Ichiro shirt. This is him wearing it. It's pretty nice. Then we went over to the Museum of Pop Culture, which is probably one of my favorite things that we did during this trip. They had a lot of really cool exhibits. This is some footage from the Jimi Hendrix exhibit, which I actually didn't know that he is from the Seattle area, but he is. We also, of course, got to see all of the stuff that they had from Kurt Cobain and Nirvana. We were also there on one of the last days of their hip-hop history exhibit, which was really, really cool, so this is some video and photos from that. And then we saw a couple of their collection-based exhibits, which was horror history, a Fantasyland, a sci-fi exhibit. So basically, it had a lot of really cool movie and television props. And yeah, it was a really cool place. Definitely a very unique, touristy kind of visit, so if I ever go back to the Seattle area, I will definitely make a return. Our final destination, which I did not get video of, was the Olive Garden, because when you're here, you're family. We got some food, we had some calamari, we toasted to the one and only Gypsy Rose Blanchard, who was free from prison. Oh, I lied. Our last destination was Costco, mostly because Noelle needed gas, but also because we wanted one of those, like, food court $2.99 ice cream sundaes that are really good. I also did not get any video of this, but at the time I was having the classic hot girl digestion problems, so probably for the best because you do not want to see the state that I was in at that time. And now you're all caught up to present day, which is I have returned on a red-eye flight. I spent most of yesterday sleeping to catch up from the jet lag. I have caught some kind of residual illness from somewhere because that always happens to me. As a result, I will not be going out for New Year's Eve. I don't even know if I'll make it to the ball drop. I am exhausted, but this was a really fun trip. I will definitely be returning to Seattle at some point. Thank you to Noelle, if she is watching this, for letting me stay with her. I had a wonderful time, and yeah, have a good New Year, guys, and I will see you next time.